Hello everyone, it's September 20th, 2016. It's Tuesday. It's Harp Tuesday. And in today's episode, I'm going to talk about pedal slides. This was a request by somebody, and I thought, what a great topic, because I haven't discussed this before. And pedal slides are where we are deliberately looking for the sound that happens when, if there's a ringing string, if we change that pedal. Right, so normally if we play a G flat and we want to get a G natural for something coming up, we would muffle so that there's no sound. But a pedal slide is when we're deliberately looking for that sound. So for example, something like that. It's great for jazz or various forms of music, and of course it happens in some classical music as well. And basically there's nothing particularly unusual or special about the technique. We're just, engaging that pedal and trying to engage fairly firmly. What we want to avoid is having it be halfway engaged where we're going to get something like that. Of course, some extended technique pieces call for that, but in general, a pedal slide, we're looking to go from one pitch directly into the next one. So trying to engage as quickly as possible, even if it's maybe a deliberate. So we're maybe taking our time before going down to natural, but when we do, we're moving fairly quickly. You want to be aware of where you're going next. So for example, if you're going, you wouldn't fully engage that pedal, you wouldn't notch that pedal. I think you should be able to see through the wonder of technology, the split screen view of what my feet are doing. Whereas if we're going, then of course we are engaging as much as we can, into where we would normally lock the pedal. So this is a very cool effect. One of the probably the most well-known pieces in the classical harp repertoire is Salzedo's La Desirade, from the Modern Study of the Harp. Is that right? Method for the harp. It starts off. It's got a whole bunch of pedal slides, and again here where we're trying to get all the way through flat, natural, and sharp. That's a little bit tricky, right? We're having to trying to get a good sound as we're moving smoothly down to the bottom. Same as going back. And trying to, in this case, there we are. Before I was maybe a little late, I was getting a bit of, but I think we're wanting to have a fairly consistent dee-da-dum speed there. And now here we get this slow. Or here we're going fairly quickly. And then of course here we get something fairly where we're going. And it might be a little bit faster than that, but again, trying to have them be in whatever rhythm is written, though oftentimes a short note is basically as fast as you can do it, right? As fast as you can do it. So another great piece that I happen to like, probably my favorite classical piece with pedal slides, is Andre Caplet's second Divertissement, the L'Espagnol, which is available. It's public domain except in the States. It's on IMSLP. I recorded that back in 1996, so maybe I'll play a little bit. You can hear a little bit of that clip. It's got some great pedal slides going on at the beginning as well, as you can hear. And I just want to talk a little bit then about, from a composer's point of view. So again, I think from a player's point of view, they require maybe a little bit of practice, but I think they're tend to be fairly straightforward, right? And again, just working on that facility, for example, if you're trying to do multiple steps in a row. From a composer's point of view, I just want to point out that pedal slides are most effective the lower on the harp you get. So especially if we're playing something that involves wire strings, which on the pedal harp will start on this G, an octave and a fourth below middle C. And that those wire strings in particular, right, are going to have a nice, sharp, crisp sound as opposed to the gut, where we're going to hear it a little bit less. And in particular, if we're dealing, so something like this, yeah, okay. If we're starting to come up here, so here's middle C, it starts to become a lot harder to hear. I should show you how they're notated, of course. Pedal slides are notated with a line from the first note to the second note, etc. Let's see if this will focus. It's not at the moment. Maybe if I move my face out of the way. Hopefully that's showing up. Again, yes, it looks like it is. So just a line, right? And of course the new pitch shown as well. But always good to write in a reminder if you're writing any sort of extended technique. Pedal slides, harpists will know what it means, but to just specify this is a pedal slide. You do want a pedal slide here and on further places in the piece. So I sometimes come across pieces with pedal slides written up in this upper register, and in particular, I think, if we are not playing a piece with a whole bunch of pedal slides. So again, say in jazz, we might be doing a bunch of I'm not a jazz harpist, but you might have a lot of pedal slides going on. So we're used to hearing that sound, and it can be effective on these smaller strings. If we get a piece of music where there's no pedal slides and then suddenly we have maybe, are we going to hear that? Is it going to come through? I know even Grangeni in the last movement of Children's Hour Suite, the Sandman, there's a pedal slide there, which it's always bothered me because it's so hard. If we hear it at all, it kind of sounds like a mistake, like that we've just, again, normally we would try to avoid that sound of the pedal changing a ringing string. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I would caution against writing high pedal slides on a single string. It's one thing if we've got something to back it up, right? Great, because here we're getting that very effective pedal slide down here. And this is coming along for the ride. But if it's just and again, the other thing to make them most effective is to have them be short. So that if we're trying to go especially on those little strings, you could do it down here. But are we hearing that distinct sound of those changing pitches, or is it just some noise? Whereas if we go, that's a little bit better. One last thing, and you could just be aware of that there, it tends to be, of course, easier to do a really short one when you're going down, especially if we're not prepared. Like if we have to unnotch the pedal, I feel like this is always a little bit harder than, because when we're going down, we can push straight away and then we notch, whereas if we're trying to unnotch and then go up, it's a little harder. And of course then for harpists, if we do need a really fast one going up, if we can, we're going to get that foot there and prepare for it ahead of time so we can go, so that we can already have it unnotched and ready to just release. So again, if you're writing pedal slides, especially isolated pedal slides where we're not used to hearing them, going to be most effective in the lower region of the harp, in particular starting with the wire strings or involving at least one wire string. And again, I would be very wary of writing pedal slides in the upper register, especially on single notes. Again, a great spot to like talk to a harpist if you're trying to see if that would actually work the way you have in mind. Anyway, there you are. Oh, right, before I forget, we can do them on lever harps as well. So maybe I'll do an extra bonus little episode next week, just looking at pedal slides on lever harps. And in the meantime, there'll be a Slow Motion Monday video this coming Monday, and I'll see you back again in 2 weeks. Cheers.